You will find the call for proposals in the Funding and Tender portal of the European Commission and on the Joint Undertaking website in Participate tab. If you're interested in participating, you're invited to submit your proposal. All grant agreements signed by the Joint Undertaking respect the following principles: non-profit, prohibition of double funding, non-retroactivity, transparency, equal treatment, and co-financing. Under the EU Rail work programs, all call for proposals are open. Before submitting a proposal, you should register your organization in the participant portal and follow the rules described in the call for proposals, specifically the exclusion, admissibility, and eligibility criteria. Exclusion criteria means that applicants that are subject to EU administrative sanctions or are in certain exclusion situations cannot participate. Your proposal must be submitted before the deadline, submitted electronically via the Funding and Tender portal. Applications must be complete and contain a dissemination and exploitation plan, and they must correspond to the page limit. There is a distinction between eligibility to participate and eligibility for funding. Eligibility for participation means that any legal entity can participate in the calls for proposals regardless of its place of establishment, provided that the provisions of the Horizon Europe regulation are met. This includes legal entities from non-associated third countries or international organizations. However, special rules apply for entities subject to EU restrictive measures. And to be eligible for funding, applicants must be established in one of the eligible countries. Member states of the European Union and overseas countries and territories, countries associated to Horizon Europe, low and middle income countries, and other countries when this is announced in the call conditions or exceptionally if their participation is considered essential by the granting authority. For the purposes of the eligibility conditions, applicants established in third countries negotiating association to Horizon Europe will be treated as entities established in an associated country if the association agreement applies at the time of signature of the grant agreement. For research and innovation actions and for innovation actions, applicants must form a consortium to be eligible. The consortium must include at least one independent legal entity established in a member state and at least two other independent legal entities, each established in a different member state or associated country. Applications for coordination and support actions may be submitted by one or more legal entities which may be established in a member state or in an associated country. To be eligible, legal entities from member states and associated countries that are public bodies, research organizations, or higher education establishments must have a gender equality plan. The main participants are beneficiaries and affiliated entities. Beneficiaries are participants that sign the grant agreement. They receive funding from the grant, and they are fully responsible towards the granting authority for implementing the grant agreement and its obligations. You can also participate in the consortia as an affiliated entity. These are linked to the beneficiary, capital link or legal link, and they participate in the action with similar rights and obligations as beneficiaries. They must comply with the same conditions for eligibility for funding as beneficiaries. You can also participate as an associated partner or as a subcontractor. If you're encountering any difficulties, you can contact EU Rail before submission deadline at the functional mailbox.
The main difference with the actual cost grant agreements are that the grant agreement will set out the lump sum share, co-funding, corresponding to the full accomplishment of the work. Each lump sum share could be paid upon completion of the work package. The lump sum for the grant is set out as its signature, and there is no more reporting on the actual cost, leading to more simplifications. The applicants should propose the amounts based on their estimated direct and indirect costs, providing a breakdown per work package and within each work package, the share assigned to each beneficiary. The cost estimation should include only costs that would be considered eligible in an actual cost grant, and the applicants should declare that they follow their own accounting practice. During the evaluation, independent experts will assess those costs and the budget estimates in comparison with statistical data on average personal costs per country. During the project, the beneficiary usually receives 3 types of payment from the GU. The pre-financing payments, of which aim is to provide the beneficiary with cash to start working on the project. It remains the property of the URAIL, usually until the payment of the balance. Then the interim and final payments that correspond to lump sum share and that are released depending on the completion of the work packages and the assessment by the GU. The focus is given on the performance, and there is no more ex post or interim financial audits, nor the obligation to provide a certificate of financial statements. There is no need for the beneficiary to keep documents such as timesheet, payslips, or contract, but it's mandatory to keep the technical documents and any documents proving that the work was done as detailed in the Annex 1. We thank you for your attention. Do not hesitate to visit our website should you need any complementary information, and we're looking forward to receive your applications.